usually have a time of business where we recognize different members of the family. You know, it's still, when I think about this, we'll never be assembled here again just like we are. We don't know who might go out to meet the Lord before next year. And you know, when I go over these names, all of these individuals that I'm going to be naming, they've already left. They've already left the house. They've met the Maker. The Harkins family, the descendants of Austin and Bertie Harkins. We know that they came from Buffalo County, North Carolina, moved into around the Track Rock area, and then they moved in over on the Cooper's Creek around really back towards Fish Gap, and then finally Austin Harkins, or D.A. Harkins, he moved on up into the Cooper's Creek area. And so we'll look at the descendants of Austin Harkins. Do we have any of the Thomas Harkins? Any of the Thomas Harkins family? Peyton Harkins. Sis Show. William Harkins. I know I'm a descendant of William. There's several others. We'll get to those. We'll recognize them a little bit. Grant Harkins. I know we've got Grant Harkins. Appreciate you being with us today. It's been a while since we've been here, but we're glad to see you. Montyville Harkins. About Charlie Harkins. Ground Squirrel. Normally Don is here. I haven't seen or heard from Lonnie Harkins. Llewellyn Powell. Yeah. So glad you can be with us this year. Spencer Harkins. Hi, Vanny Pickersheimer. Yeah,
right here.
You better get up. Probably your way, Chad. The Harkins' great grandfather. You know, the Harkins. They married the Schultz and the Helms. Is in the Schultz family here. In the Heltons. All right. How about John Harkins? John Harkins. Sherman Harkins. Those we found out about those just a little bit later on. Now, if you're here and you're not kin to the Harkins, we'd like for you to stand up. We appreciate it all somewhere way back in 1800. Good possibility, always. But we appreciate you coming and being with us today. You're very welcome. Make yourself at home. We appreciate you coming and being with us. Let's talk about the William Harkins. William Harkins was my great grandfather, and William Harkins he was married twice, and by his first wife he had 9 children. His first wife died, and he married again, and he had 9 more children. So he had a total of 18 children. So, yeah, you're talking about dozens by the dozens out here. So we'll start out. And first, Roseanne Tao. Any Roseanne Tao?
Was it Roseanne? And that, I'm just asking.
Rosanna.
Rosanna, okay.
Rosanna.
Roseanne, because there's Sari, which is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on how it's pronounced by us Hoosiers.
Yes, Roseanne.
Laura Helton. You know Laura Helton. Louis Harkins. You're kin to, well, really Cicero, I'm sorry. Cicero Harkins, you're next. Appreciate David being with us. Lou Allen Garrett. Lou Allen Garrett. Flurry Grizzle. Yeah, there you go. You stand up too. You might know that too. Good deal. Robert Harkins. Of course, Robert, I think he left the country. We've never heard from him. Mag Helton. And then George Harkins. Little George, he was never married. Most of you have heard the story of little George. He was crippled, and he had probably polio or something, and he couldn't walk, and he was confined to a chair, and he always wore a robe. And he was there with great grandma, and George, he could take that chair. It was just a straight back wooden chair, and he could wobble that thing, and he could move on that thing just like nobody's business. And George, he would usually go a week at least a time before he shaved. And there's nothing that done him any more good to tease some little kid like myself or some of the others, and you walk by, he'd grab you, and he just beard you real good. But George was happy-go-lucky. George was he was a character. George was. The only thing ever, George, I know that I heard Grandpa talk about that when he was small, that he'd take corn and he'd get there at the edge of the porch. He'd throw the corn out, and when the chickens come, he'd take his walking stick and knock us. I guess that's the way he'd get fried chicken again. Anyway, that was little George there. Now in the second kids, which was Grandma Elizabeth Helton Harkins, descendants Jim Harkins. Jim Harkins, we've got several of them. This wild bunch here. Appreciate each and every one of you that come out. You know,
Craig, just a second. I'd like to introduce my brother Robert and his wife Brenda and Liliana with her grandfather. Excuse me, you got me started. Anyway, I'd like y'all to introduce yourselves to them and make them welcome in the family.
Yeah, I've done met Robert. Yeah, I hadn't met his wife yet, but appreciate you coming and being with us. Then after Jim Harkins was Joe Harkins. Joe was never married. He died at a young age, around I believe 26 or something like that. Emma Payne. Into Emma Payne. Yeah, here we go. TJ. Appreciate y'all being with us. Glad that you can make it out again this year. Thank you very much. Dave Harkins. Into Dave Harkins family here. Now Ben Harkins. Yeah. I'm in. Gail, appreciate you coming and being out with us. Gail, usually faithful. She tries to make it okay. We appreciate that. Wilbur Harkins. Wilbur, Buddy, and Doris, they both passed on. I don't think any of their kids or Wilbur's grandkids ever made it. Mary Gary. Either Mary Gary. Oh yeah, here we go. Glad y'all can make it out again this year. I appreciate you coming in with us. And now, William Harkins. Into William Harkins here. Usually the WA married some of them. Little doggy. And how he got that name, because he was always saying, "Get along, little doggy." He was saying favorite song, that's right. Of course, he was not always standing upright when he sang that. Callie Abercrombie. Into Callie Abercrombie. Okay, let me look at, get my list here. I'm gonna. I know I've got it here, I just keep flipping over it. Oh, yeah. Here, I want to recognize the grandsons of William Harkins, the grandsons. So we got Clyde and IT. Is there any other of the grandsons of William and great grandma here? I don't think so. Just looking at them as far as we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 that are still alive out of the. Out of 19, 7 out of 19 are still alive, and we've got 2 of the oldest. 2 of the oldest here, starting with IT. IT is 100-year-old. Wait. In all the years that I've been here, IT is the only Harkins I've ever known of that's made it to 100 years old. And we thank God that He's been merciful. And we didn't make it to 100. Amen. Clyde, you're what, 93?
That first day of October, I'll be 94.
First day of October will be 94. Thank God.
I's the baby of the family.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. IT was the oldest, was the oldest boy in that family, and Clyde was the youngest. And you can see as time went on how it went downhill.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't really want to hear that. But yeah, then out of Grandpa's family, out of Jim Harkins' family, have IT and Clyde, and then Aunt Stella. Aunt Stella, she's had a stroke. She lives in North Carolina. She is able to, they did take the feeding tube out. She's able to maneuver around. She's still going through therapy, able to talk. She's I guess just turned 83-year-old, or this month she'll be 80. The 24th of this month she'll be 83.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be the baby of Jim's family all the way through, and that little girl come along.
Yeah, he thought he had it made. But you know, they would tell you that Aunt Stella, if she was here, she'd say, well, yeah, I was a baby, and she said I had 5 brothers that had to look after me and make sure that I was doing what they wanted me to do. She said, yeah, I was the baby, but they babied me, but they also tried to make me.
She called me the other day, and it was like me some time back, said Clyde, you're the only one that played with me.
Well, everybody else was too old.
That's a blessing to me. I thought we didn't need that little girl, and I thought it was the best thing ever happened.
And
after the depression, I was in the depression.
well, see, Clyde, you was on the short enough our time to be able to get along with it. You know, the rest of
I
them.
never heard that. I don't want to hear it.
All right, but I do. I appreciate. I appreciate the love. Appreciate that. You know, I was thinking about it. You know, in Grandpa's family and my grandpa's family, all of the in-laws passed away except my mom. All the in-laws ceased, and you know, Pauline, Virginia, all of them passed except Mom. And Mom's here, she's 91 years old. So thank God. I don't know if we'll ever make it that long, but Now, every year, we also look at who has passed on since the last reunion. You know, as I said earlier, you know, there's never a reunion that would be the same. And so, and what you got?
You left out John H. Harkins.
No, I mentioned him earlier.
Okay,
And Sherman.
we have one here from John H.
Whoa,
Harkins.
stand up now, we'll recognize you there. But yeah, I did, I just said John, I didn't say John H.
Okay.
So maybe that throws you. But I said that, and then I said Sherman. So, but she's here with us a lot, and we appreciate you being here with us. Thank you, I don't wanna overlook anyone. So now we'll look at the ones that are deceased since the last time. Diane does a great job of keeping up with a lot more than we don't always see it in the local paper.
If I miss somebody, then you can tell me,
Right.
and I'll
If
write
it's
it down.
someone that we don't have on the list, if you let Diane and myself know, we'll make sure that we do get it on the list. First one I have, I'm gonna go through the list I have, then I'm gonna go through Diane's, and so there'll be some repeats probably. Mary Payne Hensley, daughter of Aunt Emma Payne, and Uncle Ed Payne, died on 9/24. Great Belle Payne Rich, daughter of Aunt Emma Payne and Uncle Ed Payne, died in December. Lee Ruth Katie Warren, wife of Junior Warren and daughter of Jewel Harkins, died in January 19th. Wilma Faye Harkins Foster, the daughter of Dorothy Johnson, Uncle William's Harkins' granddaughter. She died in February. And then J.W. Harkins, which is Gail's dad. J.W. passed away here in June. He was son of Ben Harkins. Of course, J.W. he went by cotton a lot. Everyone knew him by that. So those are some of the names we've got. And then we'll jump back over to this list. Ronnie Jones was a descendant of Berkey Harkins. Passed away in September 2018. Mary Elizabeth Payne Hensley, which was a descendant of B.A. Harkins. Judy Gwendolyn Porter Burton, descendant of Berkey Harkins. Ray Lee Bingham, descendant of John H. Harkins, passed away last October. Alpha Nesbitt Harkins, descendant of John H. Harkins, passed away in October also last year. Cody Preston Lovingood, descendant of B.A. Harkins, passed away of November 18th. Then Roy David Bishop, descendant of Berkey Harkins, passed away December. Great Belle Payne Rich, descendant of B.A. Harkins, passed away in December. Donnie Ray Pope Sr., descendant of B.A. Harkins, passed away December 18. Wayno Harkins Jr., descendant of John H. Harkins, passed away in January this year. Lee Ruth Katie Warren Harkins, descendant of Berkey Harkins, passed away January this year. Stephanie Dean Floyd, descendant of B.A. Harkins, passed away March of this year. Martha Faye Thomason Self, which was a descendant of Elizabeth Harkins Roper, passed away April of this year. Philip Harris, descendant of B.A. Harkins, passed away October, April. Jumped too far ahead. April, descendant of B.A. Harkins, April of this year. Susie Ann Self, descendant of Elizabeth Harkins Roper, passed away April 11th, 2019. Carolyn Joan Mooney Bishop, descendant of Berkey Harkins, passed away April of this year. J.W. Cotton Harkins, we already mentioned, passed away June of this year, descendant of B.A. Harkins. And Clinton Wiley Harkins died June of this year, a descendant of John H. Harkins. Is there any other person that's passed away since the last reunion that we didn't mention?
Harkins or Heltons or Schultz?
Anyone that's kin to the,
David Turner that came, I don't know if you, I didn't.
Yeah, David. Yeah, he passed away, yeah. David was here, he had got, where he come to us, I guess the last, I don't know, 8, 10 years or whatever, I don't know, it's been several years that David Tanner was always a fixture here, always really enjoyed David coming. He was
What line's he at?
he's not kin, but he is just a really good friend.
Okay.
He always just showed up. He was kin to the Seabolts and Thomas up here in Suches.
Maybe kin to the Hippers too, Craig.
Well, if we do, I don't know where it comes in. So anyway, that's the only thing that I know of for sure tied in. But David was he was always a real friend. He'd always come. He really enjoyed coming to it, and he passed away.
Bertie Harkins' wife, Catherine Tanner. So, you know, he might have been up that line.
Okay. But anyway, David was he was a great guy. Always enjoyed David coming in with us. He was no bachelor, loved to fish. He was a retired fireman, and did painting all the time, painting houses and whatever else on the side there. And he loved to come here and talk to folks about people that they knew. Okay. Well, it's time now to elect another moderator for the Harkins reunion. So the floor is now open for nominees for moderator of the Harkins reunion.
I nominate Frank Harkins.
I move that nominations be closed.
I guess when you get in this thing, you know, yes, Tom.
I'm going to be a railroad.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's in agreement with everyone, that I'll continue to be the moderator of the Harkins reunion until next year, I see a raising of your hand. Those opposed, just keep your hands up. All right. Well, every year we also, we elect an assistant. You know, we never know, next year I might not be able to make it. My wife, the first time that she's not been able to be here, and she's been here 38 years. She wasn't here this time of the call. She was sick. She is so sick, and just really, she wanted to come, but she couldn't make it. So we never know. We never know when. So the floor is now open for a assistant moderator to the Harkins reunion. Do I hear any nominations?
Mike Phil.
Okay, I have a nomination for Phil Harkins. Any second? Any other nomination?
I move that nominations be closed.
Do we have a second? Move. Do we have a second on that?
Somebody second that.
Somebody said.
Second.
We have a move and a second. All in favor of it being closed, and it's another railroad, and Phil is the assistant for next year, raising up your hand. Opposed, the same. All right. You know, Corinth Church has been so great. Preaching started back up at the home place. We know it goes back to 1932, and it was done by either the brother or friends or whatever else. So the first name we've got on here is Uncle Wilbur Helton, Cedric Banks, Marvin Wheeler, Guy Lee. Matter of fact, Guy Lee is still alive. He's 90-year-old, and he just helped in a revival over in Lumpkin County. And he's still going strong. Actually, the Jim Harkins family is actually kin to Guy Lee through the Abercrombies. Donald Tritt, J.W. Helton, Roy Helton, Harry Reagan, Willis Garrett, C.T. Carter, J.R. Fields, Doug Collins, Horace Potts, Larry Stover, Jack Biddy, Don Hood, Paul Carter, Rex Bird, Hubert Legg, Tony Allison, Andy Caldwell, Lance Fuller, Jesse Abernathy, Les Fuller, Philip Robinson, William Phillips, Lyman Caldwell, Keith Allison, Chris Butler, Tim Hicks, Nick Rice, Terry Head, Casey Robinson, Stephen Barrett, and we'll add in 2019, Joel Martin. The Senator Joel and I we've worked together for well over 20 years, 25, 26 years, whatever we're at. So actually, I'm still working with him 2 days a week, 3 times a month. I kind of sit back in the corner and he's set up in the front queue when they learn. I just kind of pass by and holler at him once in a while. But we do have, occasionally we do have some good downtime together there, discussing things in the Bible and just talk about whatever might come up. So if any comments, Diane and Tony, if you have any information, any pictures, and anything that you might have, make sure that you see Diane and Tony. They would like to get any information that they could about the Harkins family or anyone that's tied into the Harkins family. They do a great job, and we appreciate their effort. Diane, you have anything to say?
No, I've got my Harkins picture book and people can look at it, and only that if Tony and I eventually have a book and you're not in it, don't blame us. I'm telling you now, if we don't have your information, don't blame us. And you want to come up and give whatever it is we have for the book, if it be 50 or 80 or whatever. Oh, and my name ain't in here. Well, why ain't it? Because you didn't give it. Why ain't my ancestor in here? Because you didn't share. I've got an email address. I will be glad, and Tony does too, we'll be glad for you to scan it, send it to us. And we appreciate it.
Chris, there's a sign-in book out under the shed out there.
Yeah, don't forget to sign in.
You can put your name, address,
That's
any
right.
comments you want, put your phone number and your email address, and she can contact you, you can contact her.
I mean,
Try to get a picture.
you're not gonna intentionally take people's name out, are you?
You don't want to know that. No, we wouldn't take your name out there, even though you haven't given us all your information. There's probably some more that you could give us.
And Craig, I'd like to say one thing too, just on behalf of Corinth Church. If anyone here does not have a home church, we would be happy to have y'all on Sundays.
You live close enough, or if it's within driving distance, please, if you're not able to come to Corinth, go to some church. Go to some church. Make sure that you do that. Corinth, I know, will welcome you with open arms. We appreciate Corinth Church and all that they do. Tony, you.
I know the other one blocked by it.
Yeah.
Second, I $2,000 a day, long time.
Appreciate it. Well, we will limit it, you know.
I don't have anything. I just sit here and look at the floor and, you know, about 90 years ago, there's a bunch of hogs roosting here.
Yeah, the old church would sit right out there. You could
No,
see
we've
through
come
it.
a long way, son. We've come a long way. And we just pray to thank God for it, and we continue to bless each other. We kind of partial to the heart. We appreciate what you and Phil are doing, taking care of the business.
I agree with that.
Yes, I do too.
Good to have Robin with us.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's glad. Robert is with us. Anyone else? Okay, if not, what we'll do, we'll stand and.